Good morning, my dear children. I hope you all are fine. We are continuing with chapter 3, How Many Squares? And you know what? Today we are going to learn to find the area of regular and irregular shapes. But before we begin, let's revise the term area. Area is actually the region enclosed within the boundary of a closed figure. Or we can say the surface covered by a closed figure is called its area. In this chapter, you will be learning how to find the area by counting the squares covered by it on the square grid. Clear, everyone? Now, before we begin with the question, let me tell you, if a figure covers whole squares, please count each square as 1. But if a figure covers exactly half of the square, then we'll be counting that square as half only. Secondly, what will be the unit here? As you all are aware, area is measured in square unit of length. If they have specified in the question what is the unit of length of each side of the square in the grid, then it's fine. You'll be writing that particular unit. As it is given here, assume each square has a side of 1 centimeter. Like the square grid is made with small squares. So here each square has a side of 1 centimeter. If it's given, then you will be writing the area as square centimeter. But sometimes in some of the questions, they do not specify the unit of length. Then what are we going to do in that case? Children, we will write the area as square unit. Because no unit is specified, so we'll be writing with square, we'll be writing unit, square unit. I hope you people have understood this. So let's begin with the question now. The question states, observe the given figures. I have given you 6 figures here. Observe them carefully and then answer the following questions. We need to find the area of figures A, C, D and F, children. So, as I told you in the beginning itself, that how do we find the area of figures? We count the small squares that figure encloses within its boundary. Okay? So, this is figure A, everybody. What do I see? That it is a regular polygon or it is a regular figure. Why? Because it is covering 4 squares like this and 4 squares like this. That means it is a square. And in a square, all the 4 sides are equal and the internal angles are also of 90 degrees. So let's see how are we going to find the area of figure A. Now, there are several ways of doing that. One is that we mark them with a small tick in each of the small squares. So, how do I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This is one way. So, I'll be writing here that the area of figure A is 16 square. Unit of length is centimeter. So, I'll be writing square centimeter. The area of a figure is equal to the number of squares it covers. Clear, everybody? Now, the second way is, in place of putting a tick mark, what do? You can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and this is 16. This is second way so that you don't forget the number of squares you have counted. Now some of you might be thinking that now this is a long process. So we can do it this way also. What way? There are 4 squares in each row. And number of rows are also 4. If in one row there are 4 squares, in 4 rows the number of squares will be more. So when we expect the answer in more, we multiply and 4 fours makes it 16. So I have told you 3 ways. Now the choice is yours. Whichever way you are comfortable with, please use that. Okay? Now let's move to figure C. This is figure C, everyone. This is an irregular shape. Why an irregular shape? Because the sides have different length. Now we don't need to check the second thing. The internal angles are equal or not, whatever the case is, but the first condition is not met, so that means it is an irregular figure. Now let's count the whole squares here. What would you like to do? Let's write the number. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and this is 13. So how many squares does it cover? It covers 13 squares. So what will be its area? 13 square centimeter. Now you might be thinking, why is ma'am writing SQ? Beta, this SQ is actually the short form of the word square. Clear? Now, next figure is figure D. Now this figure is covering some whole squares as well as some half squares also. So let's count the whole squares first of all, everyone. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Now this figure is covering 12 whole squares. Along with that, it is covering some half squares also. And as I told you in the beginning of this video, that if the figure is covering exactly half of a square, we will count it as half only. And along with that, you also know 2 halves make 1 whole. So let's count the halves first of all. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So 10 halves will make how many holes? Divide this 10 by 2. So 5. And 12 plus 5 beta makes it 12 holes were there and 10 halves make 5 holes. So 12 plus 7, 5 is equal to 17 square centimeter. Is it clear to everybody? Shall I move to the next figure now? The next figure is figure F. It is here, everyone. Again, this figure is covering some whole squares as well as some half squares. We'll use the same method. Let's count the whole squares first of all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 whole squares. Now let's count the half squares. 1, 2, 3, and this is 4. 4 halves will make how many wholes, beta? So 4 divided by 2 gives us 2. And 6 wholes plus 2 wholes made with the help of half squares each will give us the answer as 8 square centimeter. Now, this is one way of writing the unit of square. The other one is better. We write the numerical value as it is. Then we write the unit of length, and this square, for this square, we write a small 2 as its exponent. Clear, everyone? Now 13 will be able to write 13 centimeters squared. How will you read it? 13 centimeters squared, and this 13 square centimeter. Clear? So similarly, these two answers can be also written in this manner. Now we are moving to part B. Now part B says, how many squares of side 1 centimeter do figures B, D and E cover? So just see, first figure is figure B. This is a rectangle, everyone. The opposite sides are equal here. So let's count the squares it covers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. This rectangle is covering how many squares, beta? 18 squares. So, I will be writing here, figure B covers 18. Now, if they had asked us area here, I would write square centimeter. But they have asked us the number of squares. So, I will be writing 18 squares. In a way, these two things are same. But we need to answer it according to the question asked. Now next one is figure D. This is figure D. We had already calculated its area. It is 17. So we are not required to do the calculations again. So I will be writing 17. And in place of writing the unit of area, I will write here squares. Let's do the last part. How many squares does this figure E cover? Again, it is covering some whole squares and some half squares. So let's count the whole squares first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 whole squares are there. So can I write 8 plus? So what number do we get? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 halves here. So 4 halves will make how many holes? Divide 4 by 2. So it gives us 2 whole squares. So 8 plus 2 gives us 10 squares. I hope you all enjoyed doing this question. But don't forget to do the practice of this concept at home. Good luck, my children, and bye-bye.